Hello everyone, welcome to the third session of biology. We were discussing about the biodiversity and I told you it is the wide variety of living organisms, maybe plant, animals or microorganisms that are present on the earth. There are different varieties and these varieties are present in India also. Today we are going to discuss about the biodiversity of India. You know about the climatic condition of India. We are having too hot summers, winters and rainy seasons. All the seasons are here in different regions of India. That's why we are having wide variety of living organism also. The wide range starts from the tropical rainforest till the alpine vegetation, from the temperate forest to the coastal wetland. All are having different type of plants, animal and microorganisms. So these are different varieties present in India. What are the main features of Indian biodiversity? If we are going to discuss, there are three main features. First of all, it is the hot. You should know about the hot spot. What do you mean by hot spot? It is an area that is having richness of a particular endemic species. What do you mean by endemic species? These are the species. There are certain plants and animals that are confined to a particular place. With an example I will explain. Take the example of kangaroo. These are confined to Australia only. Kiwi in New Zealand. These are the endemic species of Australia or New Zealand. In the same way, there are different varieties of plants and animals that are present in a particular region and are under constant threat. There are total 25 hotspots present all over the world, and the term hotspot was first coined by Norman Maier. This is the name of the scientist who coined the term hotspot. And I told you there are total 25 hotspots around the world. Out of these, 2 are present in India. First of all, what is the criteria? How will you find out a particular place is a hotspot or not? So there are 2 criteria to identify hotspots. First of all, number of endemic species. The species, the living organisms that are confined to that particular place, their number and degree of threat. These 2 factors decide a hotspot. And in India, I told you there are 2 hotspots. First is Eastern Himalayan hotspot, that is having especially many plants. Apart from that, these hotspots are rich source of reptiles, amphibian and certain mammals also. But Eastern Himalaya hotspot is mainly having endemic species of plants like Magnonilla or Betula. These are 2 plants, main plants that are present in the Himalayan region. Second hotspot of India is Western Ghat. This Western Ghat is having evergreen forest and wide variety of plants and animals present in these evergreen forests. So these are 2 main hotspots present in India apart from 25. Overall 25 are there in the world and 2 are present in India also. Second thing is biogeographical region. As the name suggests, these are the biogeographical region. According to the living organisms, geographical regions are divided into different categories, and in India we are having 10 regions that are having different biogeographical vegetation. These are 10 main regions, biogeographical regions in India. First of all, it is Trans-Himalayan region, that is having 2 provinces also. Himalaya with 4 provinces, desert like Kutch and Thar with 2 provinces, semi-arid zone with 2 provinces, Western Ghat with 2 provinces, Deccan Peninsula with 5 provinces, Gangetic Plains with 2 provinces, Northeast India with 2 provinces, Indian Island with 2 provinces, and Marine Coast with 3 provinces. 10 biogeographical regions are identified in India. Third feature of Indian biodiversity is India as a biotic center of origin of cultivated plant. There are 12 centers present in India, and in these centers approximately 167 cultivated and 320 their wild varieties are present. These are the origin of, you can say, 167 different cultivated variety like rice, sugarcane, turmeric, ginger, mango, etc. There are different varieties of cultivated plant, and as well as 320 their wild varieties from which we can develop different varieties also. So it is the origin center of cultivated plant. Next point is the World Heritage Site. Heritage you know about. These are the places of tourist attraction. So there are 5 World Heritage Sites present in India, and 6 Ramsar wetlands are present. Total 5 World Heritage Sites and 6 Ramsar wetlands are present in India. These World Heritage Site of India are present in different part of the India. Like in West Bengal, we are having Sundarban National Park, Uttar Pradesh, Nanda Devi National Park, Rajasthan, Ghana National Park, Assam, we are having Manas Wildlife Sanctuary, and in Assam, we are having Kaziranga Park. In Assam, we are having Kaziranga National Park. There are approximate 33 botanical gardens, 89 national park, 492 wildlife sanctuaries, and 14 biosphere reserves in India. And about 30% of the world's recorded flora means plants, is endemic to India only. Means they are present in the India only. So these are the different varieties of plants and animals that are present in India only. Now we will discuss about the benefits or uses of biodiversity. What are the uses? First of all, it is playing an important role in ecological ecosystem or the ecological role of biodiversity. You know about the ecosystem, it is a self-sustained unit that is having many plants, animals and microorganisms in it. It is having biotic and abiotic component. The biotic component, and they are interacted with each other. They are dependent on each other. You have studied about food chain and food web. So that is important, that is necessary to maintain an ecosystem. So that's why this biodiversity is having an important role in ecosystem also. Second is scientific importance. For the research work material, scientists provide different plants and animals from the biodiversity. They are the main sources of new varieties are developed from the present one, existing one, naturally, artificially also, and they are providing a large gene bank that is essential to make the experiment related to the plant living organism. So that is provided, biodiversity is providing a gene bank also. Now next is the drugs and medicines. There are many drugs like morphine that is derived from the plant known as Papaver somniferum, and medicines like quinine that is derived from the plant Cinchona. You know that is a medicine that is used to treat malaria. And another medicine, penicillin, that is derived from a fungus known as Penicillium. It is an antibiotic. Penicillin is an antibiotic that is used to destroy microorganisms. So these are the medicines and drugs that are derived from the plants only. All the food products are either plant product or animal product. So these biodiversity are the rich source of the food, and they are having industrial importance also, because all the timber industry, paper industry, furniture, all these are dependent on the plants only. And apart from that, they are having aesthetic and cultural importance also. There are different varieties of birds, beautiful flowers, beautiful butterflies that are having their aesthetic and you can say cultural importance also. Next session we will discuss about the conservation of biodiversity. Thank you.